Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking to you about the do's and don'ts of taking care of your fresh tattoo. The most important thing here is that in the first few days of getting your tattoo, you should know that your skin is still open, because basically a tattoo is an open wound in the first few days. After having the needle go through your skin, it does make you bleed and it does create open skin. So it's important to keep it clean, otherwise you can get an infection if you get it dirty from going outside and playing in the dirt, or getting your pet's hair in it, or going to work and just letting things touch it. You should avoid all of these and always make sure to wash it between 2 to 3 times a day. So I think it's best to wash it when you wake up, maybe one time in the middle of the day if it gets dirty and if you feel like you need to wash it, and then also one time before you go to bed. And each of these times that you're washing it, you should be using unscented antibacterial soap. Unscented is important because the perfumes in the scented soap is going to irritate your tattoo and it's just not good for it. And then after you wash your tattoo, every time you should be putting on a thin layer of ointment. Just thin enough that it covers it, but that it can still breathe through. There are specific tattoo ointments out there. There's brand names that you can get, and these are all great. But if you don't feel like spending the extra money for it, you can also just use basic ointments like Vaseline or A&D. I know a lot of people have specific preferences over which one to use, but it's really up to you because everyone has different skin. I know some people who even use cocoa butter instead of ointments like Vaseline, and that works great for their skin. It really just depends on what you know works for you and what you feel comfortable with. So you can go for the tattoo aftercare ointments, you can go for the drugstore ointments, or something that you use already at home. Just don't be rubbing like pure coconut oil in it. I don't think that's really a good idea because that's oil, not ointment. But yeah, anything along those lines would be good. So after you've been washing it for all this time, after around 3 to 5 days is generally when people start to have the tattoo peel. So this means that the outer layer of your skin is dying and shedding off, which is totally normal, and it starts to look like your skin is peeling like a sunburn. So at this point, you're going to want to stop using whatever Vaseline or ointment you've been using and start using unscented lotion. Again, make sure it's unscented so that the perfumes in the lotion don't irritate your tattoo. At this point, you're still going to want to make sure that you're washing it at least twice a day just to prevent any chance of infection. And then after you wash it, put on that thin layer of lotion. Again, not too much so that your tattoo can still breathe through it, but enough that it moisturizes it. And now that your tattoo has begun to peel, make sure you do not pick at it, scratch it, peel off the dead skin. I know that's gross, and yeah, it happens, but just leave it alone and let it come off naturally. Otherwise, if you pick at it, it could pull out the actual ink from your skin. And then you have these little holes of missing ink, or maybe even your tattoo just doesn't heal as well. So just leave it alone and let it do its own thing. Also, I have seen some people take this 3 to 5 day rule of when it should start peeling and start using lotion even though their tattoo hasn't started peeling yet. And don't do that. Everyone's skin is different, so make sure you wait for your skin to start peeling. Don't just wait for it to be 3 days or 5 days. Wait for it to peel and then start using the lotion, because you're not going to want to put regular moisturizing lotion into the open tattoo when it's still in the healing process. That's not going to help it at all either. Just, you'll know when the right time is for you, and then switch to lotion instead of the ointment. With smaller tattoos, this may be harder to notice, like fine lines. If you just have a simple script tattoo, like very small, it's not going to peel as much, but then you can go more with like a 5-day rule. If you don't really see it peeling, then just go with 5 days. Like, it's not as big of a deal when it's a small tattoo like that, but when you have a half sleeve or, a big 8-hour piece that you just got done, you're not going to be putting lotion on it when it's still healing, when it's still an open tattoo. So yeah, keep using soap and lotion until the peeling stops, and then once the peeling is stopped and your skin looks completely normal, sometimes it can look a little bit scaly, like not like snake skin, but it looks like it has a strange film on top of the tattoo. It probably needs a little bit more time to heal still before that last layer of skin comes in on top. So just always use lotion until the skin looks completely normal, the way it looks on the rest of your body. And it's always a good idea to keep using lotion after this too. Lotion's just going to moisturize it. I mean, you should use lotion on your whole body, but yeah, you don't have to after it's done healing. It's just going to help it though if you do. And then the whole process when your tattoo is healing, it usually takes about 2 weeks. So first there's the 3 to 5 days when it's still a very open wound, up until the time that it starts peeling. And that usually takes like a week or a week and a half, sometimes less. Again, everyone's different. But generally it takes like 2 weeks for your tattoo to heal, and then around a month for it to be completely healed. Like the skin is all the way back to normal, not like lizardy or reptile skin. Like, you'll see what I mean. It kind of has this weird overlayer over the tattoo, and it just doesn't look quite right. But it takes about a month to get rid of all that. So in these first 2 weeks, when it's really in the beginning stages of healing, you're going to want to avoid places like the beaches, saunas, gyms, anything that's going to get your tattoo close to bacteria or germs that could get it infected. You know, the beach is one of the worst places to go when you have a fresh tattoo. The sand and the sea, everything about it is just covered in germs and has a high risk for infection when you have an open wound like a tattoo. Then once your tattoo is healed, you should always be using sunscreen when you're in direct sunlight. I know it sounds like a pain in the ass, but it's really going to help your tattoo look so much better in the long run. The sun only wears it down, it makes it fade, it can make it blur out a little bit even. It's just only going to destroy your tattoo, and it's best to avoid this at all costs, which is really just sunscreen. It's not a big deal. Overall, this is all you really need to know about how to take care of your fresh tattoo. It's pretty simple. Once you see the process going, you're going to kind of know what to do and when, like when it starts to peel and when it's stopped peeling and the whole process. And you're just going to want to make sure to keep it clean. That's the number one rule. Keep it clean so that it heals properly, colors don't fall out, and it doesn't get infected. That's the worst case scenario. It doesn't happen often, but just keep it clean. You can write in the comments if you have any more tips or any extra questions about how to take care of your tattoo. I'll be happy to answer them. Aside from that, good luck with taking care of your fresh tattoo, and I hope it heals well.